Okay, I recognize the setup looks a bit crazy. The microphone is attached to the desk lamp, but today we're being a bit chill because we are going out today. I turned the big light on, and I need to get ready. I mean, I'm taking the bus anyway, so that's gonna be a long ride. But yeah, I figured that I'd just like do something on here and just talk a little bit before I go away for the weekend, I'm assuming. Because I don't think I'll record over the weekend, but it's fine. And yeah, I was planning on, like, if I had time, potentially just doing makeup, but I think I'm gonna take, like, my full makeup to my friend's house, and then, like, all us girlies and the one guy friend will do our makeup. The guy won't. Um, but the girlies might. Well, I don't know, actually. I take ages doing, like, a full face of makeup, which is why I don't. I'll be doing, like, the makeup that I do regularly today, which is literally just eyeshadow, and then nose blush, which makes it look like I've been punched sometimes if I add too much. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of wanted like a chill session where I just like get ready one time. So yeah, I'm obviously going to talk while doing so. Um, about the continuation of my love life, I guess, because it's always the continuation of my love life. Um, which right now is actually going pretty decent. I mean, I have matches on Bumble. I have one match on Hinge, but he's not messaged me back in a while, and I'm not overly interested in him anymore. Well, partially because he's not messaging me back, and then also partially because I don't know. It feels like he's giving me blunt responses, like a little bit, where I'm saying like interesting conversation topics, like the fact that a few years ago I was waiting for the bathroom because my mum was in the bathroom, and God, wait. Oh yeah, so she was in the bathroom, so I obviously had to wait. Um, so while I'm waiting, I'm getting bored. What do I decide to do? I attempt to roll up the stairs. Like, roll up the stairs. It didn't work. My mum comes out the bathroom. I'm like on the stairs, and she's like, Amelia, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, rolling up the stairs. So that's my vibe. And it seemed like he would understand that vibe, but he's also just not messaging back. So I'm like, go away then. Because that's what I don't understand. Is like why guys match with you and then don't unmatch with you if they're not interested. Because like if I'm not interested in someone or someone doesn't respond to me for an extended period of time, then I'll just unmatch them because like fuck you. Like don't waste my time. Oh god, this is squint. But yeah. Then I have, did I say I matched with two people on Bumble, or did I'm having three on Bumble, kind of. One guy I matched back with yesterday, or rather he matched back with me, so I have said to message him because that's the way Bumble works, I think. Um, so I did, and he sent me like one or two messages back in response and nothing since. So it's like, okay then, I guess I'll wait around for you a little bit, but not forever. I have one guy who I've been talking to for a pretty decent amount of time actually, and it seems like he's really interested in me because like I'll get instant responses sometimes, and as we all know, if you get instant responses from a guy, then he's interested in you, which is like factual. Because if a guy's not interested in you, then it takes him like 50 years, but if he is, then like I know I'm not a guy, but like I know that much. Um, so there's that guy. The only issue with him is that I'm getting pretty blunt replies. Well, not blunt, but like not much to go off. So I'll be like making a joke or something. And he'd be like, ha ha ha, yeah, oh my god, so true. Like, that would be horrible. So it's like, what do I do? How do I go off of that? And thankfully, I'm very good at carrying the conversation on my back because that's what I always have to do. Um, so I'm like used to it, but it's just kind of annoying to have to deal with that. Like I'm still messaging him and I message him paragraphs, so he gets like a literal like fucking essay from me every time and then replies with one line. So I'm like, you're giving me mixed signals, babes. You're responding but you're not responding. It's it's very weird. I don't know how interested in him I am. I think there's potential there, but also like he needs to step his game up a little bit. Um, there's another guy who he seems pretty darn into me. Um, because okay, so first of all, I I'm 20. I am really iffy on age gaps, and I don't want to date like if the age gap is too big. So my current like okayness is 19 to 21. Like 18 and 22, they feel too young and too old for me, right? But Bumble doesn't let me have 19 to 21 as like an age gap thing for showing you the people that you whose profiles you can like and stuff, which is really annoying because I see someone that's 18 and 22 and I'm like, well, I just gotta swipe past you then because I don't want you because I know how it'll go. Because before I thought that like 18 to 22 would be fine, but I matched with an 18-year-old kid and I'm calling him a kid because he called me at 4 o'clock in the morning. He was like pretty drunk. I stayed on call with him for 2 hours. I didn't hang up. He ended up hanging up. And he called me cute but cringe. That is not what you say when you're trying to win a girl over. Like, fuck off. Also, he was matching my energy, so like if you think I'm cringe, then you're cringe. Um, and yeah, that just put me off. I was like, I can't be dealing with immature people, because he was also like, I'm more mature than you because I've experienced more life than you have and more life experiences. Because like I moved out 2 years ago and I've done all of these things in relationships and blah blah blah, and I'm like, bitch, what? So yeah, because at the time I still hadn't moved out of my parents' house. So I just decided like fuck no, I'm not doing this. He also said that 20 is the perfect age and he goes for older women, which like fine, but 20 is the perfect age. It feels really icky. So I no, I decided against it. Um and Bumble doesn't allow you to restrict your dating ranges that much, which is annoying, but whatever. So I see people that are 22 and 18 and I immediately swipe on them because like they technically shouldn't even be showing up. But there's this one guy and he was 22 years old, but like sometimes if I see a pretty looking 22-year-old or a pretty looking 18-year-old, less so with 18 because that feels like I'm a pedo. I'll just like swipe through your profile and be like, "Oh yeah, you're pretty, but you're 22 anyway, bye." Which is also what I do with people who are named my brother's name because I'm not dating my brother. Like no, I will not be able to correlate that name with anyone other than my brother. So yeah, anyone that's my brother's name, 18, 22, you're basically getting an immediate swipe unless you're pretty enough where I'll scroll through the profile out of like interest. And I scrolled through his profile and I was like, fuck, he's like really pretty. Like if only he wasn't 22. But then I was like, you know what? What's the likelihood that he'll even match me back? Like, nothing. You know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna swipe. Because if I find someone pretty that's 22, I try and justify it. And I'm like, oh, okay, but like, what if? Like, okay, let's look for something bad on the profile so that it gives me a reason to swipe. Um, like, and I did that for him and I couldn't find anything bad, so I was like, you know what, fuck it. It's unlikely that I'm gonna get matched back anyway. But you know, he did match me back. So we've been talking, and he seems pretty decent. Like, unlike the first guy, he's not giving me blunt responses, which I'm like, yay, happiness. Uh, which is always, always, always fun because it gives me something up to work off of. Because if you've not noticed, I'm a yapper. And apparently men love the yappers. Oh my god, I look like I've been punched. I've not. Um, but yeah, that's that. He seems fun. But as always, we'll see. He complimented my appearance today. Like, we're mid conversation about like movies, and like the fact that I made a compilation of every single frame that my favorite character in Yu-Gi-Oh! Gen 5 was in. I made an entire like a compilation of every single frame he's in the show because he got robbed of screen time, and I was like, we need to find out exactly how much screen time he got, and it was an hour of every single frame he's in screen. But anyway, so yeah, I brought up the fact that I don't like watching movies because it feels like I have to commit to the whole movie all at once, and like that's scary because like the story's given to you in like one like fell swoop. But it's given to you all at once, right? So like why would you pause the movie and break that up? Then he's like, haha, you've got commitment issues, and I'm like, babe, I've not got commitment issues. This is the shit that I did. And then he responded to that, but then also we kept talking about movies because that was the initial topic. Um, yeah, and then there was like a third topic in there somewhere, so we've got like kind of three conversations going on at once, which I really don't mind. That's typically what I have with like my friends and other people where there's just so much going on at once. Like there's one guy who I went on my second date with him and he was off of Hinge. And when I tell you it took us it took us an hour to respond to each other because we messaged in such massive paragraphs that it's insane. Like literally it's like massive paragraph after massive paragraph. Like we were literally sending essays to each other, like quite literally. Um, and yeah, I friendzoned him on our first date because we'd already talked about like potentially being friends afterwards, and he was totally cool with it. He was totally accepting of it, and we're good friends now. And like he knows that I don't view him like that. He told me that he can drop a crush. I'm trusting him in that because why would I not? He's given me no reason to not trust him on his words. And he's just really supportive of everything. Like he's just genuinely a really good friend, which I'm happy about. Like my first guy friend that's actually not been a failure, because I've had kind of guy friends before, but like not proper ones. Um, okay, because we have the guy that's in our friendship group that's going out with us tonight. I've tried to have a friendship with him because like he's into anime, I'm into anime. We always talk a decent amount when like we meet up for clubbing nights together, but he's just not a very good texter, and I don't think he's also being massively proactive about wanting to be friends with me. I think he's just okay being friends with me in the context of the friendship group. There's like, yeah, fine, whatever, don't mind that, because we're still friends at the end of the day. But yeah, so he doesn't really count. Not as like a proper friend. He is obviously a friend, duh. Um, and then like way before that, like my first experience with a guy friend well, first of all, he was a bit of a rape defender, but not like he wasn't like defending it. he was making jokes about it. When the rape victim in question was a girl from an anime who was like 16 years old, and she had been getting repeatedly sexually assaulted by her stepbrother for like 4 years at this point. And I made a joke. Well, I didn't make a joke. I was explaining why like the stepbrother is my least favorite anime character of all time. Because like there's so much shit that this girl went through. And like she did not deserve that on top of it. And then he made like a joke about like how she should have just covered up or something, and I'm like ah, and I'm just terrified. Then I'm trying to slowly distance myself from him over text, and we're talking about Demon Slayer, and we're ranking like our favorite demons. So I'm like, yeah, this guy's my favorite demon because like even though he's a psychopath, he's really pretty. Like he's kind of cute, but he's hot as well. Like it was really hot when he was eating that woman's arm in the insert manga panel. And then he's like, "Girl, you're insane." And I'm like, "No, like this is why it's hot and this is why it's cute." Um, but like also it's completely fictional. Like it's not based on reality or anything like that. So it's fine for me to like that because that what I like in fiction, it's not translating to real life because it cannot. Like you cannot translate a demon eating a woman's arm into real life. Like that's just not possible. And then he turns around to me, literally in the next fucking message, and goes, "Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I mean, I like lolly scat hentai. That doesn't mean I like that in real life." Completely unprompted. I did not ask. I did not want to know. Yeah, yeah, literally, I was like, this is why my fictional demon is hot. It's like, yeah, lollies. And not just lollies, lolly scat. Lolly scat. And then we kind of stopped talking because I'm making the effort to not talk to him anymore. And a few months down the line, he sends me an Instagram reel, but then unsends it. So I don't know what he sent me, but I'm meeting my friend the next day. So I'm like, oh my god, he sent me an Instagram reel, but he unsent it, so I don't know what it could have been. And my friend goes like, "Oh my god, he sent me something on Snapchat," and I bet it's the same thing because he unsent it from you and then he posted on his Snapchat story about like why this is such a bad idea. What was the thing he sent me? Well, send this to everyone you've wanked over. That was my first male friend, guys. My first male friend. You didn't have to send that to everyone you'd wanked over, mate. You could have kept it in the drafts. You should have kept it in the drafts. A bit crazy. Really, really fucking crazy. But, yeah. And then while he was still in his normal phase, like while he was still being normal to me, I had a guy from high school who I'd not spoken to in a while message me being like, well, we never really spoken. Like I didn't think he knew I existed because like he and I were just like very different people, still are probably, different crowds, different everything. And then he goes like, "Hey, you were in my dream last night," and I'm like, "What? Haha, that's crazy." Because then I ask him to explain the dream, and I'm like really wanting to make new friends at this point. So I'm like, you know what? We'll try and be friendly with him. But he like takes a half a second of interest in my interests, and then goes, "What you up to?" I tell him 2 minutes later, "What you up to?" As if it's fucking changed. Um, and yeah, he starts like asking for pics, and I'm like, ha, I don't even send like photos to my friends, like nothing like that. Which is true at the time, but like I don't mind sending photos anymore. But like if there's not a need to, then why would I send a photo? And he's like, "Oh, come on, just one. I want to see how you've changed over the years." And I'm like, "Bro, I literally look the exact same, just have less spots." So that's your point of reference. And he's like, oh, please just one pic. And I'm like, I tell him no 2 times in like roundabout ways. Well, not in roundabout ways, but it's like, no, I don't really send photos to my friends, and I excuse it. Um, and then he asks a third time, and I just go, no, full stop. I'm having a panic attack while all this is happening. So that was like my second male friend, even though we weren't friends necessarily. Um, the third one, long story short, um, I he got me in his bedroom. My first time getting drunk was with him. I'd been in his bedroom before. Everything was fine. We were flirty vibes. It was like a playful flirtiness. It wasn't like anything too serious. We get drunk. Um, my top comes off. I'm in my bra. I'm comfortable being in my underwear around guys, so that's like not him. He didn't pressure me into that. It was just really warm in his room, so I like just decided to take my top off. I would still probably do that while completely sober because I just don't mind being like that physically exposed around men that are my age. Um, that are my age is, you know, very much the crucial point there. Um, and he, we're playing Truth or Dare because bro is uncreative. Um, and he's got a fucking Truth or Dare app on his phone. And then I get a dare, and it's like, let the person to your left, so obviously him because there's no one else playing, give you a hickey, and I immediately freeze, and I'm like, bitch, the fuck? And then he tries to convince me into doing it. I don't let him. He kind of gets a bit huffy after that, which I only realized in hindsight. Um, and yeah, I ended up sleeping in the same bed as him that night. Again, not an issue for me. Um, but then come to find out like a month or two after all of this happened, because I was still trying to be his friend. I was like, let's meet up, let's meet up. He never had time for me, so I'm like, fuck it. If you're not gonna be proactive in messaging me about this stuff, then I'm like, I don't care. Have your life. You message me when you're free. Um, and I'm meeting up with another friend, and I'm just completely, just discussing all of this shit. And then she's like, oh my god, one of my friends told me that like her friend or something, it was like a cycle thing, that he essayed another girl, like by getting her drunk in his bedroom. So I was in the position of allegedly someone who got sexually assaulted, because like obviously I wasn't there. This isn't, I'm hearing this from my friends, so this isn't something or someone that I trust. Like I trust my friend, but like I don't know her friends, so I don't know, what their relationship with sexual assault or was, right? I don't know if there's like some bad blood and they're trying to, which is why I say allegedly, but like getting someone drunk in your bedroom and then sexually assaulting him, like them, like that doesn't feel too out of his character, considering that I was in the exact same position. He made it very clear that night that he would sleep with me, and I was like, oh my god, fun. But I didn't give into it. Uh, but yeah, third male friend. Fourth one, this one's a shorter story. We briefly met each other. I was I was somewhat drunk. I was going around looking for the toilet. Um, and I see him stood outside a library, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, do you know where any toilets are? And he's like, oh no, sorry, like I'm just about to get the bus. I'm like, fuck, shit. And I kind of end up dragging him along. Um, and we find a toilet, and I end up dragging him back to the place where I was before, where I got drunk, mildly. And I kind of stick with him for the rest of the night, and then he messages me, well, because I'm like, oh my god, we should totally meet, be friends, blah blah blah. So he messages me the the morning after, and I don't respond to him because I'm getting weird vibes, like in hindsight, because I'm not drunk anymore, and when I'm drunk, I'm really friendly. So in hindsight, I'm getting weird vibes about him, and yeah, I'm choosing to leave it undelivered until I can get a better grasp of how to respond and how to go about this situation. But even though I'm not responding, he keeps messaging me and being like, "Oh my god, I just insulted like these two guys that are in my course because like his course was like fancy, it was like law or politics or something." Um, and he was saying that like everyone in the course was snobs. Which like okay, fun, whatever. Like you're taking the Mickey out of other people. Like I don't mind that. Um, especially if like your course is like filled with snobs and people like that, then it's fine, I guess. Especially if like you're not meaning it fully completely seriously. He said like, oh, I insulted people in my course, like, are you proud of me or something? And I just kept ignoring him. Then he sent me like a Queen Elizabeth meme where like it was half her face was Queen Elizabeth, half the face was like a frog, and I'm just like ignoring him. And then he messages me a day later, being like, "Hey, I don't know if you'll ever respond to me, but like it was really nice meeting you. You were the highlight of my week," which is like really sweet, but that's also very guilt trippy. And I ended up not responding to him because he was giving me like just bad vibes, and I like that could have been on me because he could have been a really genuine guy, but I don't know. It didn't make me feel comfortable, so I didn't respond to it. But then I meet the guy that's going out with us today, and then the guy on Hinge, which is like my only successful dating app experience so far, if well, probably ever, is meeting this now really good guy friend. So if nothing else works out, I'm at least grateful for that because I highly doubt we would have met or known each other any other way. So yeah, I my makeup when I do my makeup, it's always like my eyeshadow and like the eyeliner that takes the most time. And just because I was rambling today, I ended up like taking ages on it because I can't fully concentrate. I think I put a bit too much lipstick on my nose because it looks a lot. Yeah, Logie looks like I've been punched in the face, but it's fine because I like the sunburnt nose thing. I'm gonna probably try and wash some of it off um with water. Okay, so real quick as well, I'll show the outfit that I'm wearing today. So wait, I'll take the mic off. Ah, okay, so we've got a nice little top with like a little heart cutout thing. I love a good crop top. I love crop tops and skirts and like everything like that. Especially because I've got a short torso, or I've got a long torso and short legs, so it gives the illusion that I'm taller if like it makes it seem like my torso is shorter and like all like my skirts and shit are pulled up to like belly button level. Yeah, so speaking of skirts, we've got a skirt which I'll stand on the chair. Okay. It's got like a little garter type thing, but it's a skirt. I always wear shorts under skirts anyway or dresses because like I don't want to deal with the wind, right? And then as you can see as well, fishnets. I love me a good fishnet. Great accessories. And then for shoes, okay, like casual trainers with like purple accents, which is why I went for the purple bows, not the blue ones, and why there's purple and blue on my eyeshadow. On No, why there's purple and blue eyeshadow on my lid. Okay, right. I'm gonna go and eat a little bit, then pack my bags and head off to meet my friends. So, yeah, aside from that, nothing really happened today. Yeah, but there's the lore drop about my experiences with men, I guess. So, here's to tonight being a good night because my friend broke her ankle the last time we went out. So, let's hope that doesn't happen again. Okay, right. Gonna go then. Bye bye.